So you do not want to be consuming nut butters that are going to give you heart disease. Hello, Dr. Joe here of the drjoe.com and the 2020forum.com. So today we are going to be talking about nut butters and why nut butters may be bad for your health. So here's the thing. I love nut butters. I love them. I eat them. But just as nut butters are good for your health, they may also be bad for your health. And how do you know when nut butters are bad for your health? Well, I'm going to be sharing with you 5 features that demonstrate why nut butters may be bad for your health. And I want you to pay attention to all of the 5 features. In particular, you're going to pay attention to feature number 5 because that one is very, very important. Really, it's very, very important. You need to pay attention to that. Now, before we continue, I just want to show you this here. So you go to, because here, this is a nut butter. You go to the supermarket and you pick this out and you see this oil floating at the top. Can you see that? You see the oil floating at the top. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? And I'm going to be talking about that towards the end of this video. In fact, that is aligned with feature number 5 that we're going to be talking about. So I want you to pay special attention to that very feature. So why might nut butters be bad for your health? Before we continue, before I share the 5 features with you, just a quick plug about my book. This is my book on managing high blood pressure with lifestyle approach. Links to get the book will be right below this very video, okay? So a quick plug there for you. So why might nut butters be bad for your health? So feature number 1 is the label of reduced fat. So when you go to the supermarket and you see the nut butters on the shelf and you see the label reduced fat, what happens? Well, you are suddenly attracted to that because the manufacturer feels that's a selling feature and he wants to put it there in bold for you to be attracted to that very product. Now, reduced fat, is that a good thing? In actual fact, no, it's not a good thing. Why? Because the manufacturer, although he's trying to help you by stripping some of the fat away, and by so doing he's trying to reduce the calorie content of that nut butter, he's not actually helping you, because if he takes the fat away, he's going to have to replace it with something else. And usually they tend to replace it with something unhealthy. So that's a sub reason number 1 why reduced fat is not a good thing. The sub reason number 2 is the fact that, you know, the fat you have, the natural fat that you have inside the nuts, and consequently the nut butter, the fats you have in there, they're actually good fats. They are healthy fats that you need. The fats in the nut butter are usually made up of monounsaturated fatty acids as well as polyunsaturated fatty acids. And those are healthy fats. Those are fats that you need. Those are fats that may actually help you to reduce your bad cholesterol levels. So it's a good thing for you to consume nut butters that have got all of the fat in there, not the ones that have had some fat stripped away. So reduced fat is a bad thing. Full fat nut butters are what you should be going for because they are good for you, they are healthy, and that is what you need. So that is feature number 1. Feature number 2 is organic label. So you go to the supermarket and you see the label organic, and for you that's a good thing because organic is supposed to be good. But do not fall for the organic label because you know what's inside the nut butter is more important than the organic label. So are the ingredients that are in the nut butter, are they healthy? That is what you should be going for rather than just the organic label. I would rather you buy a non-organic nut butter that's got healthy ingredients than going for the organic nut butter that's got unhealthy ingredients. So do not fall for the organic spill. Go for what is inside the nut butter, okay? The ingredients in the nut butter, make sure you read the ingredients label, okay? So that's feature number 2. Now let's move on to feature number 3, why nut butters may be bad for you. And that has to do with what we call palm oil. So a lot of nut butters these days, they got palm oil inside it, and you may be wondering, is that a good thing? Well, it depends on what school of thought you belong to. For me, I want to reduce my consumption of saturated fat, and that means I want to avoid palm oil as much as possible because palm oil is made up of mainly saturated fat. And if I want to reduce my consumption of saturated fats, then I really should not be going for products that have got palm oil splattered all over it. So for me, palm oil is an unhealthy ingredient that I do not need in my nut butter. Best avoided. So that's feature number 3. Let's move on to feature number 4, and that has to do with sugar. We cannot talk about nut butters without mentioning sugar. Now, sugar comes in various forms, and of course, food manufacturers like to splatter sugar all over their products, and nut butters are no exception. Now, should you buy nut butters with sugar in them? And the answer really should be no, because nuts are sweet on their own. They do not need any further sweetness added into the product. Now, here's the other thing. Apart from sugar, which comes in various names, other ingredients may be added onto the nut butter. So here's just a quick list of some ingredients that you may find in your nut butter label. Let's have a quick look. So here are some unwanted ingredients that you do not need in your nut butter. You do not need them at all. So some examples are here. Maltodextrin, whey protein, sweet sorghum, molasses, muscovado, vegetable glycerin, fruit juice concentrate. What else? Well, there's more. Organic honey, corn syrup, glucose syrup, honey flax, honey roasted, caramel, carob syrup, buttered syrup, and then you have things like lecithin and vanillin. All of those you do not need in your nut butter. They don't belong there. And when you see any of those ingredients, just put that bottle down and move on. So as you saw there, ingredients that you don't really need in your nut butter, best avoided. Nuts are sweet on their own. They do not need any further sweetness added onto the butter. So that's feature number 4. Let's move on to feature number 5. And this one is very, very important. And I want you to pay attention. And is the reason why I showed you this at the beginning of the video. So you go to the supermarket and you pick up the nut butter packet, and you get home, you open the container, and you open it and you see this oil floating at the top. Is that a good thing or is that a bad thing? Look at that. Is that a good thing or is that a bad thing? Have a look. So that aligns with what we call no stir label. You're going to see some nut butters where they're going to label them no stir. What does no stir mean? Well, it means you don't need to stir it. It's obvious. But beyond that, no stir actually means that the food manufacturer has added, wait for it, has added hydrogenated oil into the nut butter during the production process. Okay? Adding the hydrogenated oil stabilizes the nut butter. That improves the shelf life of the nut butter. And what it also does as well is that it stops the oil from separating and floating to the top of the butter. So when you see that, you might think that's a good thing. No stir. Well, I don't need to stir it. That's good. No, that is not a good thing, because no stir means that hydrogenated oil has been added to the nut butter, and hydrogenated oils, they are bad for your health. We've got plenty of research to show that hydrogenated oils, which translate as trans fats, they are bad for your health. They actually cause heart disease. So you do not want to be consuming nut butters that are going to give you heart disease because they contain trans fat. So when you go to the supermarket and you see the no stir label, please do not be attracted to it, because no stir means hydrogenated oil has been added. Hydrogenated oil means trans fat. Trans fats are bad for your health. Trans fats do cause heart disease. That's been proven over and over by research, and there is no need for you to buy that. Buy the ones where the oil floats at the top, where you can stir it. Stirring does not take a lot of time. A little bit of effort is required, but they are healthier for you. So that's no stir. In another video, I'm going to be sharing with you the 3 most healthy nut butters, and that's something to look forward to at some point in the very near future. So hopefully you got some value from this very video. If you did, please give the video a thumbs up, please like the video, and also please share this video with your friends, with your family, with your colleagues. If you've got any questions, any comments regarding the content of this video presentation, go ahead, leave your comments or questions down below. I think that's about it. Until next time, well, this is Dr. Joe signing out.